Oh, now. That's Granbury.
I'm gonna get a couple later on anyway.
Three more. That might be good for a midnight snack.
I never had it.
My wife thinks them big ones. Big one,
One out, and later. I give them a
He's a pretty man. He's gonna be okay. It's over.
Anybody object if we start?
No, he's judging me.
Call this meeting to order. And all, I've asked Justin tonight to lead us in the invocation and the pledge.
Let us pray. Gracious Heavenly Father, we come to you tonight and we thank you for giving us the opportunity to serve another year, to serve our community. Lord, we ask that you would give us clear thought in everything that is presented tonight, that we would have a spirit of unity. In Christ's name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank everybody for coming. It'd be pretty tough to look out there and nobody there. I wanted to recognize any veterans that's here before we start. If you're a veteran in the crowd, just stand, please. Good. Thanks. And next are elected officials. I know Amy's here. Other electeds, yes, you are elected official, yes. Thank y'all, please. This time, we're going to call the roll, but as the roll is called, your name is called, I'd ask that you please address this group. Oh, we have so many six new ones, and I'll be brief, at least tell what you do and what color you like, and please refrain from reading resumes. Madam Secretary, would you call the roll?
Yes, Your Honor. Boyer.
Jerry Boyer, District 12. I guess I'm the best gopher you have here. I go for this and I go for that. Thank you.
Brady.
Johnny Brady, District 10. I like farming and raising cattle, and my color's black because I've got black cattle.
One question how long have you been on the duty?
Since Huckabee has been, now that's all I can tell you.
Oh, never
Well, he's the
mind.
first one.
You don't know how many years?
No, sir.
Okay.
Dodgen.
Bill Dodgen from District 13, and I'm on my fourth job since retirement, and I'm interim manager at Associated Farmers Co-op here in Conway.
Good.
I'm Steve Good. This starts my 5th term on the court. I represent the great city of Bologna and a little bit east of Sunny Gap, south of 64, but not outside, and north of 64, but not up into Justin's, and not down into District 10. So it's bad.
Hawks.
Spencer Hawks, I'm in District 9. I'm a real estate broker here in Faulkner County.
Hendricks.
Roy Hendricks, this is my second term on the court. I'm a retired data processor.
Higgins.
So I'm Randy Higgins from District 2, which is the Greenbrier area, and I'm the General Manager for Simplex Grinnell and also serve as Reserve Commander for Greenbrier Police Department.
Houston.
Jim Houston, District 4, retired, semi-retired corporate manager. District 4 is basically the southern portions of Faulkner County.
King.
I'm Eric King. I'm District 8. I work at Centennial Bank, and my district's in the city limits of Conway.
Knight.
Justin Knight. I'm in my second term. I am a proud father of 4, and I'm a network engineer. And thank you.
Pickett.
I'm John Pickett, District 11. This is my third term on the court with 2 years skipped. Thank you.
Tisson.
Justice Dan Tessing, this is my 8th term on the court.
Williams.
Barry Williams, District 5, which is in the city of Conway, south of Dave Ward. I'm a landscape architect with Craft and Toll Associates. And even though we got 6 new members, I'm still last on the roll call vote.
Thank you. Attorney General to tab 1. Approval of minutes, what is your pleasure?
Your Honor, I move that we accept the journal as presented.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Accept the journal as presented. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Turn to tab. Next thing on the agenda is I requested David hold a orientation meeting, so Councilor Holt, you have the floor.
I will try to make this brief, but this is the organizational meeting for basically the next 2 years. So I've got some things to go over with you. Part of that will be your job, the judge's job, my job, how all this works. The first thing is, let's establish these notebooks. The notebooks that you have in front of you are provided as you're figuring out. There's a tab for each ordinance, a tab for each resolution. There's a tab in the back for notes. And for every meeting, when you open this notebook, you'll have an agenda for this meeting. You will have under each tab whatever relevant ordinances and resolutions are to be considered according to the agenda. And then you'll have a place for notes. If you would, make sure at the end of each meeting that you take out all the stuff specific to that meeting and take it home. We haven't always done that for the older members, but what happens is these notebooks, if you leave everything in it, we don't know whether to throw your stuff away or to keep it, so please just take it home after every meeting and put it in a file of your own or something, whatever you want to do with it, so that we can rebuild these notebooks for you for the next meeting. That's point 1. Number 2, these meetings are open meetings. Everything that happens here is open to the public. The reason I'm telling you that is that if you send an email to me, that is an FOI-able Freedom of Information Act document. If it's in my custody and it's written, it's a Freedom of Information Act document. If you send emails to one another, it's subject to the Freedom of Information Act. If you use your phone for business or government reasons, it's FOI. As a matter of fact, I'm going to let you know that I'm not a football guy, there was a certain Razorbacks coach that had a personal cell phone and a work cell phone, took a motorcycle ride one day. I can't remember the guy's name, doesn't matter too much, but took a motorcycle ride one day and the press wanted to know whether he was at work or not at work. His personal cell phone was FOIable, if I can use that term, to find out whether he was at work or not, because anything that will tell you what you're doing as a government employee or what you are not doing as a government elected official, employee, whatever it may be, is gainable by FOI. What happens when there's a dispute over FOI material is it is retrieved, it's given to a circuit judge, and the circuit judge decides whether it's disclosable to the public or not, if there's a lawsuit about it. So I tell you that to say this. Everything that happens here is very public, very open. The definition of a meeting, whether it's informal or formal, for 2 or more people. So if 2 of you have lunch at some point and you decide to talk about business, foreign court business, that is a meeting that should have been called a public meeting, and you should have given notice to the press and the paper and everybody else for that meeting. You've got to be careful about that. You can't have conversations among yourselves. These same rules don't apply to the state legislature, they do here. But you can't have conversations among yourselves unless you invite the press and the public to that. You can have emails, but you have to, or you need to keep those emails because that would be FOIable. And you really shouldn't engage in, say, a back and forth chain or a thread of emails between you, because very quickly that can be interpreted as a meeting by teleconference. So I'm telling you all this to be very careful. Another thing on FOI and open meetings is even your conversations with me, and for the most part, I am your attorney. I'm the attorney for every elected official in the county, and that includes everyone at this table. But if you and I have a conversation over text or email, that is still FOIable because it's a document in the custody of my office. If we have a conversation person to person or on the telephone, I can hold that in confidence. Otherwise, the newspaper can get a copy of any emails that I have. So if you want to keep some secrets and just have attorney-client privilege, do not put it in writing to me. That's fair enough said on that point. You're very familiar with the federal government and the state government as it has a balanced separation of powers. County government likewise. The county judge has certain authority. The quorum court has certain authority. We have at the federal and state level an executive, a legislative, and a judicial branch. You are the legislative branch of Faulkner County. That gives you all sorts of authority, and we'll get into that in just a second. He is the executive of, Judge Baker is the executive of Faulkner County. That gives him a certain level of authority. This is a checks and balance system. There are some things that he does that you can't do. There are some things that you do that he can't do. And that's made to check and balance against each other. In county government, as a matter of fact, he is the judicial branch as well. That has faded over the years, and so, but he does actually hold court under some rules of county court, rules of procedure, and that still happens once in a while, and so he is both the executive and the judicial, and you are the legislative branch. There are separate roles for the judge and the court and me, finally. The first thing I want to introduce you to is the Constitution. Constitution Amendment 55, county judges' powers and duties. I'm not going to read you too much of this, but some of it is the Constitution is worth reading. The county judge, in addition to other powers and duties provided for by the Constitution and by law, shall preside over the quorum court without a vote, but with the power of veto, authorize and approve disbursement of appropriated county funds, operate the system of county roads, administer ordinances enacted by the quorum court, have custody of county property, hire county employees, except those persons employed by other elected officials of the county. You can ask me questions anytime about the details of that, but that's the overview. He is also governed by 1414, 1101, and 1102. 1101 again authorizes him to operate the system of county roads, which basically means he has exclusive jurisdiction over the system of county roads. Administer ordinances enacted by the Quorum Court. You make the ordinances and he administers the ordinances. And that includes, say, appropriations. You determine what buckets the money goes in, and then he approves the spending of that money, but not vice versa. Have custody of county property. He has the authority to buy and sell any county property, personal, real estate, any of that kind of stuff. He also gets to determine who and when and how all that property is used. He has authority to designate, if he wants to exercise it, what people are in what rooms. That the justice building over there is basically his property on behalf of the county, and he controls that. To hire county employees except those persons otherwise employed by other elected officials. That's self-explanatory. 1102 gets into just how he does all of that. I'm not going to bore you with all that. You can ask me questions anytime. Cards are in your notebooks. But 1414-1102 explains the rest of his authority. He also, as the presiding officer of this body, has, number one, the authority to set the agenda for a Quorum Court meeting, and number two, the power to veto. You can overrule his veto, and we'll get to that, but he does have a power over the agenda, and he does have power over veto. Now, depending on what rules of procedure you adopt, and we'll get to that in a few minutes, you can, by vote, put something on the next court's agenda, the next Quorum Court's agenda. If you don't put, by specific vote of this body, anything on the next court's agenda, he gets to set the agenda. And obviously what that means, come back to checks and balances, is that if he doesn't want something to be heard on a particular day, particular Quorum Court meeting, unless you guys have voted specifically to put that on the agenda, he doesn't have to put it on the agenda. That can be for political reasons, that can be for his personal reasons, that can be for time limits, however that works. That's just an authority he has as the judge. Let's go to the court. That's the rest of you. Let's go back to the Constitution, Amendment 55. Quorum Court powers. In addition to other powers conferred by the Constitution and by law, the Quorum Court shall have the power to override the veto of the county judge by a vote of 3/5 of the total membership, fix the number and compensation of deputies and county employees, fill vacancies in elected county offices, and adopt ordinances necessary for the government of the county. The Quorum Court shall meet and exercise all such powers as provided by law. You are further governed by 1414-801, and this gives a long list. Again, I'm available to you guys whenever to answer questions about some of this, but this gives a long list. I'm going to give you some of them because some of you may not yet, unless you've attended an orientation somewhere else, realize the extent of what you can do here. You are the Quorum Court at this point, whether you're new or old or anything else. You can levy taxes in a manner prescribed by law, appropriate public funds for the expense of the county, preserve peace and order, to ensure freedom from dangerous and noxious activities. You cannot declare felonies. You can contract and join with any other counties, any other political subdivisions, or the federal government. You can create, consolidate, or abandon any elective office. For example, and I don't want to give you any ideas, but some counties have a collector and sheriff. You can put those two together. Now, not during somebody's term, but at the end of a term, you could consolidate those two. You could consolidate the county clerk and the circuit clerk if you wanted to. Again, not during a term, but at the end or the beginning of a term, you could do that. That's the kind of broad sweeping authority you have. Like I said earlier, in the Constitution, fix the number and compensation of county employees and deputies. Fix the compensation of each county officer within a minimum maximum set by statute. Provide for any service or function of any county affairs. Provide for its own organization and management of its affairs. We're going to talk about your committee structure in just a second, and that would fall into that. Okay, that takes me, that's basically your authority there. That takes me to my role to you. Again, I represent every elected official in the county and most of the boards and commissions in the county. When I first started here, that was I thought it was a much smaller job than it is. I'll just say it that way. I managed to convince before I took this job that it was worth less money than it was when the old friend of mine was in the office, and I've been kicking myself ever since. What that means to you at the moment is that since I've been here, we've realized the magnitude of this job in representing everyone on the board of commissions. Hired Whitney Doolittle here as deputy counsel and HR officer, and we are overwhelmed. We have lots of work. We have more litigation than we've ever had before. I tell you this because, on one hand, I want to be, and Whitney wants to be, at your service. We want to, I've explained it before that with regard to the Quorum Court members, I'm like a mechanic, the sole mechanic in a NASCAR race. My job is to make every one of, even if you don't agree and you're about to fight, my job is to make his car run perfectly, his car run perfectly, and his car run perfectly without divulging any secrets to the other one. I enjoy that. I like that. It's fun to do. And there's a lot of confidences that I have to keep to do that correctly and do that well. Now, once you get, as much as I can coach you and tell you the law and everything else before Quorum Court meetings, once you're in Quorum Court meetings, I have to step back and let you race your own cars. I may help you build them, I may put fuel in them, but I have to step back and let you race your own cars at that point. Then it's fun to see who wins. Now, with that said, again, I do take confidences. I take my job seriously as far as holding confidences, but if you put it in writing, it's not up to me to take that, to hold it in confidence anymore. It's only in person or by telephone that I can hold that. Given the caseload and the litigation, we have more litigation than ever. Over years past, since I've been here, I've tried very hard to make myself available to the Quorum Court members, even if you need research done. If you want to know, how many deputies there are in Sebastian County, or if you want to know just all sorts of stuff that would aid you in making an argument or making a point to the Quorum Court. We will still try to do, basically I would call that research for you guys. We would still try to do that as much as possible, but I will tell you that given the caseload that is happening at this point with litigation and everything else, that's going to be limited to some degree. We will still explain the law to you, we'll still give you the law, help you with arguments, but as far as actually just going and doing research and pulling documents and so forth, we don't have quite the manpower that, or we have so much to do now that we don't quite have the manpower to do that type of research. My job is defined by 1414-902 and 1621-114, as well as Ordinance 0827. I have to be at every committee meeting. I have to be at every Quorum Court meeting. When I say I on that point, that's me or Ms. Doolittle, either one. Sometimes you will always have a legal representative at every meeting that you attend, whether it's me or her. If you need one of us over the other, please let me know that, and we'll make that arrangement. Ordinances versus resolutions. Hopefully, some of you, I know that the old members already know the difference in this. An ordinance is a binding law for the county level. A resolution is not. Ordinance is governed by 1414-905C1B, requires majority vote, just for a regular ordinance to be passed, requires a majority vote for a panel of 13 people, that's 7 people. If you want an ordinance to be passed by this body, it requires 7 votes. Now, you may be tempted, and I would think you would be tempted to, ahead of time, call other people. Remember the FOI rules. If Eric King wants an ordinance passed, Eric King can't go and call the 7 people on that side of the room in advance and make sure they're going to vote his way. That's called basically an illegal meeting at that point. We can't play it that way. You've got to run it through committees if we have them. We'll see about that, and wait for the actual meeting to vote on it. Readings of ordinances. Ordinances should be read on 3 different days, 3 different times, unless 2/3 of your membership, the whole membership of the court, decides otherwise. What that means is that when we pull up an ordinance in a little bit, if someone moves to waive the reading, and 2/3 of this body votes to waive that reading, then that reading is waived. You don't have to read the whole thing every time if you waive that. You don't have to read it on 3 different days if you call it an emergency. So the 2/3 vote about the reading is about reading it, not about making it last 90 days. That makes sense. If you don't want to wait 90 days to pass your ordinance, then you would have to call it an emergency ordinance. That's governed by 1414-908. That waives the 3 readings, that waives the 90 days, but you have to explain, define in your ordinance why it is an emergency. You'll see a lot of governing bodies that will pass ordinances and call them emergency ordinances and just say it just like that. Not quite appropriate. That doesn't conform to the law. You can't just say it's an emergency ordinance and we're going to pass it right now. You have to say what the emergency is. Appropriation ordinances are a little different than regular ones. They require a 2/3 vote just to pass. That's 10 people as opposed to the majority, which is 7. Resolutions are different animals. A resolution is simply a statement of basically the viewpoint or opinion of this body. If you want to send a resolution to the Arkansas legislature or the federal legislature that says we are for or against some particular thing, some particular act or whatever it may be at the federal or state level, you can speak for Faulkner County and send that up. A resolution can be passed in a single meeting, does not take the 90 days. You only have to read by title, not the whole thing. And it takes a majority of the whole court. It's not a majority of the people present, it's the majority of the whole court to pass it. Remember that resolutions are not binding. Sometimes people want to basically violate the separation of powers idea by passing a resolution that says the county judge is limited or demanded, required to take certain action. That's no good. It's ineffective. It won't work because that violates separation of powers. Okay. On to Ms. Doolittle has sent you, I believe, an email asking for I-9 information for HR purposes because you will receive some compensation for what you get. I think it's $3 a year or something to that effect. And so she sent that. Take that seriously, please. We do need your I-9 information because we have to get our payroll information straight and we can't just ignore that or take it for granted. Marriages. You are, because you are JPs, you are allowed to and authorized to grant marriages to married people, solemnized weddings. You cannot charge a fee for that. There's some specific laws, some specific Attorney General's opinions that say very clearly that you cannot accept any additional compensation for anything you do as a JP other than what the county gives you. So if you do go out and do a wedding for someone, don't ask them for money for that. You're violating the law if you do so. Not long ago, there was a case at the federal Supreme Court that was called Obergefell. That's the case that made same-sex marriage legal. I don't mind saying out loud that some people I know are in favor of, some people are against, and the thing that I want you to know is, as a public official, if you decide I'm going to marry some people, but I don't want to marry other people, regardless of what your reasons for that, you may be violating the equal rights protection of the Constitution under that federal Supreme Court case at this point. If you don't want to marry everyone that asks you, then you probably should just not marry people at all. If you're good with marrying anyone who asks you, then feel free to do marriages, but don't charge for them. Okay, that's orientation. Judge, if I may, we have some decisions to make.
The main part of this meeting tonight is organizational structure, so if you move there, I'll appreciate it.
With all that said, the first thing that you guys need to decide tonight, I don't have an ordinance in front of you, but you do need to decide the regular monthly meeting date of the Quorum Court, date and time. statutes and Constitution say that you shall meet on a regular basis. It shall be once a month, but it is up to you as to when that happens. Traditionally, that is on the third Tuesday of every month. That's built into the schedule of everybody who's been here before today. But as I keep saying, you are a new quorum court, and so I need to know from you guys. I'm not asking for this in the form of a motion or anything like that. I just need to know from you guys, does anyone object to that, or should I put in the third Tuesday of every month in as your regular meeting day?
So moved.
Yes, Counselor, I would make a motion that we meet the third Tuesday of each month at 7 p.m.
Okay.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Very good. Third Tuesday. And I really don't need it. Thank you for that, because you're trained to do that. Third Tuesday, 7 p.m. We don't really have rules of procedure yet. We're about to get to that. And what I would propose is, as you guys answer these questions, I'll put it into an ordinance, and when you get to your new business, you'll adopt this ordinance, and you don't have to make the motions and all that stuff. The next issue is rules of procedure. You have a couple of options on rules of procedure. One is the Robert's Rules. That's what we've been using for the last 2 years. Frankly, before, several years ago, hopefully it's been tightening up some. The two options you have are Robert's Rules of Procedure and the Democratic Rules of Order. Like I said, Robert's Rules of Procedure is what has generally been used by this body, but I will say honestly that Robert's Rules is used very flexibly and very loosely by this body because Robert's Rules is about 700 pages long. This is your choice. I want to tell you the difference in these. Robert's Rules is about 700 pages long, and for every individual motion, there's subsidiary motions, there's all sorts of rules, and the person who studies those 700 pages is often going to have a leg up on the person who does not study those 700 pages. Time limits, just all sorts of stuff that if you study those rules, you can use them like a bat, and if you never study those rules, you may be beaten with the bat. Democratic Rules of Procedure is a modern answer to the Robert's Rules, 27 pages of rules plus 37 pages of answers to questions. In Roberts, you have many different types of motions, subsidiary, incidental, privileged, etc. They all have specific properties on how to vote for them and how not. Some have required discussion, some cannot be discussed. For example, a motion to table under Robert's Rules of Procedure is not debatable. Somebody moves to table, there's a second, and you vote on it. There's no discussion on that under Robert's Rules. I can't say for sure what Democratic Rules of Procedure have, but all the motions are a lot more similar in Democratic Rules of Order. Democratic Rules is built in 1994, created in 1994, uses modern language. Robert's Rules has a reputation for being not quite King James, but pretty close. Democratic Rules of Procedure allows informal decision making, but it will get formal when necessary. Robert's Rules is a matter of, it's always formal, it's just a matter of how formally and technically you're using them. All of these rules are something that you can either use or not use faithfully and religiously. And as Judge Linda Collier once explained to me, David, the more you use those rules on your opponent, the more they're going to use them on you, so be careful. Discussion, what's your preference?
Well, we've been using Robert's Rules. I haven't got all the 700 pages read yet, but I'd hate to restart on another one.
Anybody else got an opinion?
I think if we looked at it, the Democratic rules would be easier to use.
We've been closer to democratic
We
rules.
have, and we would give more flexibility after motion probably to discuss things. So,
Part of my job here is to be equipped, knowledgeable, both of us, about whichever rules you choose, and act as a sort of a parliamentarian. I can't really be a parliamentarian because I'm not part of this body, but that's part of, you might say, a referee. So whichever one you learn, or whichever one you adopt, then that's what the two of us will learn, and we'll learn it well enough that we can help you guys on it when you want help. But it's up to you.
You know, I think if we'll exercise a degree of decorum and common courtesy, either one would serve us well. You know, we just need a structure, you know, so that we're not talking on top of one another.
I think this board has demonstrated past history of success using Robert's Rules of Order and we had our differences, but they've always served us well.
We're not under any rules at the moment. Can we take have a vote on who's in favor of Roberts and who's in favor of Democrats, so I'll know what to put in the ordinance?
Suggestion, Wilma. All in favor of using Robert's Rules of Order, raise your hand. I'm not.
Okay.
All in favor of using Democratic rules? Okay, rules of order held up.
Right.
Right.
We'll do that, and we'll get that ready for you guys to use. People who are familiar with Robert's Rules, you won't notice a whole lot of difference. People that don't know either one, you will find this much easier to learn. Order of voting. This has been an issue that's come up several times in the last several years. Under Robert's Rules, under Democratic rules, either way, there are several different ways of voting. One is a show of hands, like you just did. Another is standing. Our statutes, 1414-908 as well as 1414-905, require a calling of the yeas and nays. It does not require or say what order that is to be done in. You can determine whether that is to be done in alphabetical order, by district number, going around the table, whatever it is. You can also determine that that should be done a different way every time. However you want to do it, we do need to have an agreement among the members of this body as to how you shall vote and in what order. Discussion.
Floor is open.
I actually like the alphabetical order.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Fine with it.
Even though I'm last.
It gets discussed often, but I don't think it's a big issue. And I think it's probably simpler for the clerk.
As long as we stay consistent every time and don't change it around, I think whatever, I can go either way. Alphabetical, Justice Casey said he likes, so I'm all for that.
I think I'm hearing alphabetical. Is that what you're
Alphabetical, I hear none supporting district or age or anything else. You can go over to the youngest.
I think I'm getting alphabetical. That might be good. That's what I'm feeling. Finally, you have, this is your quorum court again, and right now, it wasn't very long ago, maybe 2 years, I suppose, that this court established 4 committees: Budget and Finance, Transportation and Infrastructure, Courts and Public Safety, and Personnel Committees. Those committees are set out like that to fulfill all the missions that the statute that I read or went over with you earlier give you to accomplish. You have the authority to establish all the committees you want, no committees, any committees. The only thing that you cannot do is establish a committee of the whole or a committee of more than a majority without the consent of the judge. Obviously, the reason, maybe not obviously, the reason for that, and that law was just passed in, I think, the 89th legislative session. The reason for that is if you decide to have a committee of the whole, at what you've just done is created a new quorum court session but you got rid of your presiding officer and you basically shoved him out of your committee structure or your meeting of the whole body. You can't do that without his consent because he was elected county judge. But you can't have committees of less than the majority, and if he consents, you can have any other committees you want. Up to you. I just need to know what you want to do and how you want to do it so that we can set that up in the
Floor is open for discussion.
Well, we've had committees all the time, and I see where that's real helpful for everybody to discuss it, be discussed, and then bring it to the full court.
I think the committees that we have serve their purpose and what the functions of each one of those four seems to have done really well in the past few years that I've been here. So I think the four that we have are enough. I don't know if we need another committee to cover everything.
I believe we actually trimmed the committee the last time that we voted.
Cell towers.
Building and ground.
That kind of
So,
Yeah.
I think building and grounds got lumped into, it's dealt with in a couple of them. It's good sometimes. I think before we got straight.
I know as a new member last term, it was very much appreciated when we had a meeting of the whole for the first several months or however long we did that. So for the new JPs on the court, there is some benefit to that if that is if the court wants that or if Judge Baker wants that. But that is helpful to the new JPs.
I have heard one talk about, would you like to expand the committees that you have, number that sits on the committee? I mean, tonight's the night you need to set the direction for the next 2 years.
How many people are actually on each committee?
Yeah, I've actually given some consideration to that, but I looked at this just in preparation for this. And what we did last time is we did determine to have 5 on each committee. We could have 6 without, going into a quorum. But if we have 6, we're having potential of having a bunch of ties. So I'm not sure that we need to go with an even number. I think 5 has served us well on the committees.
I like to see it left at 5. You cover more with less people, then bring it to the full court, and then discuss the whole thing.
I promise somebody we keep this short. If not any other discussion, show of hands, 4 committees that we had last year repeated this year. I will promise you the committee appointments will be made in 10 days and you will have a copy. So committees can function from that. Is that fair enough?
Thank
We
you.
need covered any other way?
One more question that I've got on this point is, you've had, for years, you've had an unwritten rule that to pass an ordinance, the statute says to pass an ordinance, any JP or ordinance or resolution, any JP can bring that to the quorum court. There's been an unwritten rule at some point, I think it's affected Mr. Bills once upon a time, that an ordinance should come, maybe must come through a committee before it gets to the full court. The question I have for you is, do you want to require that a JP cannot introduce a brand new ordinance in a quorum court meeting, or do you want to, and he has to go through committee, or do you want to allow JPs to bring a new ordinance straight to the quorum court and let the quorum court determine whether to send it through committee or not?
Repeat that again. So, but in the past, they had to go through the committee?
No, that's the problem. There was kind of an unwritten rule, a tradition, that it should go through committee. And I think that was mostly respected, but it was not a hard and fast rule. So that caused some confusion a few times, and that's why I'm asking the question now.
So, Counselor, my thought on that is I think it's very appropriate that JPs run ordinances through the appropriate committee, have the appropriate discussion and everything, but as a quorum court member, I think I reserve the right to be able to bring one directly to the court. And if I should decide to do that, the court has the option at that point to either ignore me and not second, my ordinance, or to make a motion to run it through committee anyway.
I have to
So,
agree
so
with
my answer would be, I think it should be run through committee, but we have the freedom to do otherwise.
I agree with that.
Your Honor,
Yes.
there has, in my memory, there has never been a situation where a justice who has wanted to participate in a committee has ever been held up from doing so. Now, maybe they're not a voting member, but as far as sitting, contributing, adding information, the justices has always been welcomed by this court as a de facto participant in a committee, even if they are not part of that committee.
I hope that doesn't change. The committee meetings are open just like the court meetings. JPs are encouraged to attend, participate in discussion. They probably don't have a voting. I hope that doesn't change. Thank you. Sometimes, let me add this when we go one little step up. Don't leave here with the impression JPs don't need to bring up an ordinance. I didn't hear you say that. If you've got something you want to go out there, don't leave here thinking that it shouldn't be done. Now, whether it's considered that night or moved to the next session and being the first item on the agenda for next session might be a good way to handle it. And don't leave here with the impression that JPs don't need to fill out different opinions, please. I don't think that's what you intend to say. I didn't hear you say it, but kind of meaning that. Other discussion.
That's it for organization. That's all I have.
We covered it all. Amen.
Well done, well done.
David, you did a good job. Let's move on. My agenda says county officers report. And person we like to start with is Scott Simpson because he controls the money.
I don't know if I control it or it controls me at this point, Judge. We've got in front of you there on the very first page a summary of statements of Quorum Court. This is something we will go over every Quorum Court meeting. I don't think I have everyone's email. I typically like to email these out prior to the meeting so you've got a chance to take a look at it. Tab 2. If you can either email me your email addresses or I can find somewhere to get them, I'll start mailing these out. Before we get into this, we've been talking about sales tax numbers, and I think a lot of discussion was kind of where are we setting compared to the rest of the state with sales tax numbers. We are on the low end. Out of the 73 counties that have sales tax, I believe we're about 50-something. Kind of going through the numbers, and they're kind of preliminary right now, and I hope to have y'all some spreadsheets on this towards the end of this week. I still believe a lot of that has to do with the downturn in natural gas. We are down there in the 50s. White County is right there. Van Buren and Conway counties are down below us at a further negative number than what we are. Cleveland County is down there. Alaska County, which is not a natural gas producer, but they're pretty flat where they are. White County, like I said, is right there 1.8% down like we are. Not to say that is the only reason, but it kind of further supports the natural gas downturn. Once again, I hope to have those actual numbers in front of you towards the end of this week. Moving back to our summary of statements of Quorum Court. County General, Fund 1,000, ending balance $5,214,040.05. County Road, Fund 2,000, $10,603,584.33. County Road Sales Tax Fund 3402, $3,637,622.74. Animal Welfare Control Fund 3404, $1,261,224.02. Criminal Justice Fund 3407, $1,055,945.36. There was a mistake made on my part when judging the carryover number for County General. We missed the carryover number by $1.4 million, but on the good side, which is good. I underestimated revenue by about $600,000, but the big part of it was we did not spend about $800,000 I anticipated. So we are really good. As bad as things looked and as much kind of hand-wringing as we did and worry we had, County General looked good. If you look over there on your net income, that's not typically on this sheet, but I did put it on here for the year end. Your revenues and your expenses, remember that the revenues were overstated by $1 million, so that's really $14,626,000. But our net income was $927,000, which is great. I really commend the agencies on their watchful eye on spending towards the end of the year, and that's really where we got the large carryover. Are there any questions on that?
Scott, if I understand correctly, the revenues for the animal welfare and control, $166,355, is that the final number?
That is the final number on revenue. Now, all of that is not tax. The tax number was 135, 140, and I'm sorry I don't have that number for you, but if you'll get with me, I can get you the actual tax portion of that. There's some interest in there. There are some commission turnbacks and things like that.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
Scott, I've got a question just for my clarification.
Yes, sir.
For County General,
Yes, sir.
based on what you were saying of us actually having more than we expected, that $5 million number right there is kind of what we're starting with in the pot for 2017.
That's what we start with.
That's the carryover number.
Right, I projected a carryover of 3.66 million, I believe is what it was.
Okay.
I hate that we missed that bad, but we missed on the good side. That's,
Hey, if you're gonna miss, you gotta miss on the
well,
correct side.
I didn't want to be $1 under, I promise you that.
Just don't go spend it all.
Right.
That's up to y'all on the spending side.
That's what I said, let's just don't go spend it all.
Don't worry about what comes in.
Other questions? Some of you had never seen this before. If you've got a question, please ask Scott. Good time.
And let me remind you, I'm at my office at your call anytime.
Justice Hawks didn't have one in his.
Okay, I didn't.
We
I'm
got,
sorry.
We got.
Okay, okay. Feel free. I know this thing can be confusing the first couple times we look at it. What we do is kind of put a balance sheet on the top and then what you're spending against the appropriation down at the bottom. Like I said, I can answer questions. If you go home and have some questions, call me tomorrow. We'll get it worked out. On the second sheet, this is the running total of the Faulkner County sales tax revenue, county road and criminal taxes combined. We actually kind of finished out the year decent. We're down 2.27 for the year, $8,356,908.05. That's against projected of $8.2 million. Once again, we beat projections, not really what we wanted. We're down $194,000 from last year. We're trending this and we're hoping it trends up. I think it's going to, but we're not out of the woods just yet on that.
Remind us again, December's number is actually November's tax, is that correct?
It's actually October's tax,
Okay,
yes.
very good.
Yes.
There was one number.
Typically what they do at DFNA is you collect the tax in October, send it to DFNA in November, and then they send it back to us in December.
So that's why February's always so high, because that's December.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Of course, DFNA takes a little bit off the top, and when you get your the new guys, when you get your sales tax sheet, there's a tab on there that shows how that actually breaks down. We've got a gross number, which you can balance against DFNA's number, and then DFNA takes their 3%, and then if a city doesn't have a sales tax, they can participate in our county sales tax. So what they do is take the total population of those cities plus the county, and then prorate that to get the prorated share, which is, we're 97% on the prorated share. They didn't get much.
So, anybody remember when Academy opened and all that? Is that October? Were they open by then, or was that November? Okay, so we got one more month before we start seeing some of that money. Okay.
Yeah, I know it may be a slow gradual deal, because I
Yeah, I
don't think
think so.
they
So
didn't all
Sam's
open at
will
one
be-
time.
yeah.
Sam's will be in before you know it.
So it gets
and-
your,
and
gets your
as we-
trade off.
Sam's opens Thursday.
Yeah.
Sneaky peek Wednesday night from 5 days.
As we've talked about with these new retail shops, they are going to take some retail away from other retail places, but we believe that the net overall is going to be a net positive.
Really very interesting to see, you know, what, because we had Dick's 40 with, you know, we got Academy, and I'm wondering how much it's just going to be shuffling the tax money.
I think we're more concerned about how much we're pulling out of Pulaski County.
Yes.
Right.
And
I
Conway
hate it for
County
them,
and
but
guys north of us.
They got money.
So. I mean, I know people that are going to come here from Polk County.
Yeah.
To shop.
Y'all may know more about this than I'm hearing a little bit, maybe a little bit more production in the natural gas is starting to pick up. Can anybody, it's not big, but maybe a little bit, so that may help us.
Southwest has brought drilling rigs back. On the number, they've actually brought drilling rigs back.
Which is a positive.
And I do know of another company that's starting to crank up some operations, not that it affects us one way or the other, but it means that something's happening in the gas and oil industries. There's a company that's going to be cranking up some operations in Louisiana.
And once again, I'll get those sales tax numbers, comparisons to the rest of the state to y'all. Take a look at them. We can discuss it next month, or you can, once again, you can call me on them. There are a couple sheets in here that we would like to do away with. Your back two sheets, which are jail fees report and delinquent fines report. They're typically in your report, but we don't go over them. Is there anyone that used these reports that are not, we can pull them out of the reporting? In the 2 years I've been here, I don't know that we've ever looked at them as a group. If somebody's looking at them on their own, I'll surely leave them in there, but they're not large revenue numbers, and I don't really know much use for them personally. On that same note, is there any reports that y'all would like to see added?
come on, you new guys, y'all wanna see something?
And if you don't know what you want to see right now, you kind of have an idea, give me a call and we'll work together and get something together.
You got room for several more pages here.
The question I have, when you talk about, I don't necessarily care about the fees report, but it's just a matter of information that'd be good to have, so we can determine how much money we're losing through the local fines and things like that. I think it's just good information to have.
Okay, I think I may can answer your question with that, is I think there's better information out here than this. If you'll come by one day, let's kind of go over some of that, and let's see if we can put something together that really tells the story better than what this right here does.
So I think did we take out the lottery report?
I never had the lottery report. So you may have taken it out, but not very much in there.
That's when I saw the sales were up. Sales tax is down, lottery sales
Has it been that long since we had it?
up. Yeah, I haven't seen it.
I ain't never saw
In this,
No, we
in
used
the last
to
2
see it all the
years.
time, very much.
I can get it for you. They send it to me.
Well, obviously I haven't missed it as much as I thought I would.
It's
He's missed the last one he missed.
you could almost put that against your sales and see if there's a comparison of those being up versus your sales being up. I don't think it's going to see it. You might.
Thank you.
Scott,
Yes,
go
sir.
ahead. We were kind of huddled up here. One thing, and it may be that it's just an explanation a little further of one of these you've already given us, but monthly provide us with an actual expenses versus actual revenue report. Now, so I realize some of the revenues will come in a couple months later, but there is always sales tax revenue that comes in 4 8 months versus the expense of that month. Is that something that's...
Expense report comes from my office, and that's provided to you on my email once a month. I didn't provide it to you this month because we just now got posted.
Now, I can produce you a revenue report. It's just how detailed you want it. Because it can get too detailed and you're going to get lost
Yeah,
in
no,
it.
it gets scary.
Right. I put together a, oh, that could have been me. I'm sorry about that.
And I think something similar to what we did when I requested the one that I showed the rest of the court members, where we just had the top 5 funds.
Right, and some of you have been buying, as county general is our main revenue concern, and some of you have been buying, and we do produce a revenue sheet that has year-to-date revenues for essentially not so much line by line revenues, but revenue codes, or revenue types, whether it's state funding or property tax or delinquent fines and fees or officers' fees. It kind of categorizes those so you can kind of see them pretty simple. I can put something like that together if you're interested.
Is that kind of what you're talking about?
Yeah, Eric, I think we looked at that. So that's already done. I can produce it for you.
Next item on my list, no other questions. I want to recognize Angie Hill for her report. Angie, would you come forward, please? Mr. Tesson can't hardly turn his neck.
Mine's not so much a report tonight as it is an announcement. Some of y'all may have already heard. I did announcement to my office last week. I will not be seeking re-election in 2018. I've been extremely blessed to live in this awesome county and work here for over 28 years now. That makes me eligible for retirement. With this last election passing the 4-year terms, I'm just not prepared to wait 6 years out before I take advantage of that retirement. I will be around for the next 2 years attending the meetings just like I have up to this point. I do have a very experienced employee in my office, Chrissy Lewis, that does plan to run. I hope that y'all will get behind her and support her in her election year for the office. I appreciate y'all so much. I'll miss it when I do retire, but I'm ready, and I think it's time for somebody else to step up.
It's Hill, you're gonna be missed.
Thank you very much.
2 years.
Right.
We're going to get the full benefit of you for the next 2 years. Thank you, Angie, for your service. Any other county official report that we need? All right, we have moving the agenda down under appointments. We have 1 appointment and 1 confirmation. Turn to tab 4. No, excuse me. No, it's not tab. No, you got a tab 4. Under the, you got the 3. Let's say where you at. I'm sorry. I need a motion to affirm the reappointment of Patrick Moore as county attorney.
I don't believe he's licensed to be.
I got a promotion.
I knew these glasses weren't very good, and I know they weren't what it said.
Judge, I move we accept Pat Moore to come back as our coroner to stay where he's at.
No promotion.
Motion been made, second, pass coroner to be the county attorney. All in favor say aye. Coroner.
You just voted for him to be the attorney.
Coroner.
You can do what you want to do, Pat. Whatever you want to
Pat,
do.
you can be either one from now.
I'll find them and litigate.
You can be either.
They're not dead, send them to Mr. Holden.
Pat, you have the floor. Anything you'd like to say?
Well, I wasn't expecting to be your attorney, but I think we all know the intent of the court, and I just want to say that I know this is an appointment, and it may not be an election. I don't run for an elected office. I am a constitutional office. But even though it's appointed, with your confirmation I take that as serious, and you can trust me with that confirmation that I will treat it with the most respect that I can. We'll try to keep doing the job we are doing. Hopefully, it's been good enough to get me through 6 county judges, so we'll continue going down that road. But my office is always there. If you ever have a question, don't hesitate to give us a call or come by. We're real proud of our facility now that was purchased last year, so any new ones, we'd love to show it off. And if you have any questions, I'd be glad to try to answer. Thank you.
Judge, if I may.
Yes.
We have made a record that just appointed him county attorney.
County coroner.
You probably do need to revote just to make a clear record.
But I made the motion as
County.
coroner.
There you go, good. Okay, that's enough for me.
It's also my fault. I tried to swear in Pat this afternoon. He said, no, Judge, you gotta go through this procedure. So hopefully tomorrow, sometime, we'll swear him in and his other employees that need to be.
Judge, we all make them.
Let's do something. All right, we have another appointment for confirmation. The second is confirmation of the Faulkner County Library Board. I have selected Jeffrey Whittingham of Greenbrier, who works at UCA and recommended by the Friends of the Library to fill the position on the board that is now vacant. It does need confirmation of the quorum. What is your pleasure?
Your Honor, I'd like to go ahead and table that one until next month.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Made a second. Table to next month. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
I got that right.
You did.
I'm just good. All right, that moves us on. We have a couple of cleanup ordinances that we need to work on, and they're under tab 4 in my book. I don't know if it says 3 on the agenda, but they're under tab 4.
1702-2, Judge.
That may be 17 dash. Is there one?
Your Honor, I think Councilor Hogan is going to give us 17-1 for our organizational ordinance for the things we decided.
He's typing that up as we speak, so
Okay.
we can go to
Skip that.
17-2, yes.
Go to 17-2, okay.
Your Honor, I move that we accept this by title only.
Second.
Second, third.
Okay, if I remember right in his discussion, we need to put emergency clause too?
No, sir, for appropriation ordinances, they do not require emergency clause.
Thanks, okay. Read the title on.
Proposed ordinance 17-2 be enacted by the Quorum Court of the County of Faulkner, State of Arkansas, an ordinance to be entitled an appropriation ordinance to amend and supplement Faulkner County Ordinance 1541, December 15, 2015.
Motion been made and seconded and has been read. Floor is open for discussion. This is a cleanup ordinance, the way I understand it.
For last year's budget,
Right,
for
like-
that, so that's why it has that 15.
Okay.
If you'll notice, it's all small amounts, it's just moving money out of, in personal services, you're not allowed to have any negatives, and some of the insurance come out a little short, and some of the payrolls come out like 7 cents short, or 21 cents short. So, it's just filling in those gaps and moving money to where it needs to be. It's no new money.
Hearing none, discussion. Madam Secretary, would you call the roll?
Boyer,
Yes.
Brady,
Yes.
Dodgen,
Yes.
Good,
Yes.
Hawks,
Yes.
Hendricks,
Yes.
Higgins,
Yes?
Houston,
Yes.
King,
Yes.
Knight,
Yes.
Pickett,
Yes.
Tessie, Williams.
Yes.
Motion does pass for ordinance 17-2. We'll turn your tab to tab 5. Proposed ordinance 17-4. What is your pleasure?
Judge?
Yes.
If I may. There is an error here on Exhibit A. Can you give me just a minute to correct the numbers on that?
Yes. Yes. Oh, you've seen them.
It's on the next page. I didn't
want a minute. Great. Go ahead.
What it is here is on the recommended fund reserve for the county general, it's got a 10% reserve, and I do believe the committee agreed to a 12% reserve. Let me get those numbers right.
You want us to consider another way you're working on it?
Do you mind?
No, I don't mind going
Thank you,
another.
sir.
Sure don't. Please turn with me. Tab 6. Proposed ordinance 17-5.
Your Honor, I move for the adoption of proposed ordinance 17-5.
Second.
Motion been made and second. 17-5. Counselor, would you read the ordinance?
Proposed ordinance 17-5 be enacted by the Quorum Court of the County of Faulkner, State of Arkansas, an ordinance to be entitled an appropriation ordinance to amend and supplement Faulkner County Ordinance 1541, December 15, 2015, as a one-time pay increase to correct an overpayment to the County Recorder's Cost Fund, position code 1299. Section 1, $564.66 is transferred within Department 0120, County Recorder's Cost, from expenditure code 1011, unemployment compensation, to expenditure code 1001, salaries full-time. Date passed January 17, 2017. Test marker daughter, Faulkner County Secretary of Faulkner County, Arkansas. Affirmed, Judge Baker, Faulkner County Judge, Faulkner County, Arkansas.
Motion been made and second. This proposed ordinance and has been read. Open for discussion.
You got an explanation?
I have an explanation. It was discovered by our human resource officer that we had overpaid this position to the circuit, or what?
Circuit clerk. Oh, I'm sorry.
The circuit clerk, and the auditor said since it's over $500 that we needed to address it to the Quorum Court to correct it, and this is one of the ways of correcting it. We had two ways to correct it. One is to go and ask this person for the money back. This was a 2-year, the next ordinance is the same thing. It happened in 2015, it happened in 2016. This was a carryover from 2014 when wages were appropriated wrongly for the salaries, and then we would come back and ask and said we didn't do this properly in 2014, and this person's got missed. And since it's over the $500 barely, we have to address it to the Quorum Court. So the next ordinance is the same thing except for 2015, and this one's for 2016.
Would it be the pleasure of the court to combine the two ordinances at this time?
Well, the reason why I separated them is because they affect two different budgets.
That's a good answer. All right. Other discussion? We're discussing 17.
I won't actually do anything because money's been paid, it's already in their hands. It'll just be a correction on the books.
If it's a correction of the books though, what about the actual monies that were overpaid? Is the salary been readjusted?
Yes, it's been readjusted back to the proper amount that this person got overpaid, and we're not asking for those funds back.
Other discussion on 17-5. Hearing none, Madam Secretary, call the roll.
Boyer,
Yes.
Brady,
Yes.
Dodgen,
Yes.
Good,
Yes.
Hawks,
Yeah.
Hendricks,
Yes.
Higgins,
Yes.
Houston,
Yes.
King,
Yes.
Knight,
Yes.
Pickett,
Yes.
Tessing, Williams.
Yes.
Motion has passed for ordinance 17-5. Moving on, then, next tab, the proposed ordinance 17-6. What is your pleasure?
I make a motion to adopt proposed ordinance 17-6.
Second.
Motion been made and seconded, adopt this 17-6. Council, would you read the ordinance?
Proposed ordinance 17-6 be enacted by the Quorum Court of the County of Faulkner, State of Arkansas, an ordinance to be entitled an appropriation ordinance to amend and supplement Faulkner County Ordinance 1430, December 16, 2014, as a one-time pay increase to grant an over-agreement to the County Recorder's Cost Fund, position 1299. Section 1, $564.66 is transferred within Department 0120, County Recorder's Cost from expenditure code 1011 out of equipment compensation to expenditure code 1001 salaries full-time. Date passed January 17, 2017, attesting regarding Faulkner County Secretary at the Burn J. Swicker Faulkner Judge.
Motion's been made and seconded and read on ordinance 17-6. Open for discussion.
Margaret, what about the auditor? What does he do with this or say about this?
Well, the auditor is the one that said these were the two options that we had, and we chose to come with this option, come to the Quorum Court, because this person is no longer an employee here to come back and pull it out of their salaries. But this was the option from the Quorum Court, either get the money back or amend the budget for a one-time deal.
Are we okay with amending the budget?
Yes,
and going back with that?
yes.
Okay.
She is, yes.
Yes.
And for the record, this $564 carried out through 12 months is $47 a month, which depending on what this person was doing with income tax for state and federal, what they were doing within the holdings for retirement, what they may have been doing with insurance, things like that, they may or may not have actually noticed anything fluctuating just a whole lot. So, they provide
I'm trying to say it's not a windfall on their part.
right. Clerical error somewhere that obviously got overlooked.
Other discussion? Madam Secretary, would you call the roll?
Boyer,
Yes.
Brady,
Yes.
Dodgen,
Yes.
Good,
Yes.
Hawks,
Yes.
Hendricks,
Yes.
Higgins,
Yes?
Houston,
Yes.
King,
Yes.
Knight,
Yes.
Pickett,
Yes.
Tessing,
Yeah.
Williams.
Yes.
Ordinance 17-6 does pass. Scott, we ready to go back to this ordinance 17-4?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
I can explain this just a little bit if
we
anybody.
need a motion. What's your pleasure with the ordinance? 17-4.
I move for the adoption of proposed ordinance 17-4 as it will be amended
Second.
in section A.
Motion been made and seconded. Proposed ordinance 17-4. Madam Secretary, would you read the ordinance, and then we'll let Scott make the adjustments after that's all read.
Need an attorney?
Yes.
The attorney, please read the ordinance.
Proposed ordinance 1704 being enacted by the Quorum Court of Faulkner County, State of Arkansas, an ordinance to be entitled an appropriation ordinance to establish an amended operating budget for calendar year 2017. Section 1, annual budget adopted by reference. The annual budget for calendar year 2017 identified as 2016 annual budget Faulkner County, Arkansas, dated December 20, 2016 is hereby amended as follows. A, Exhibit A is added to the adopted budget to replace sections I through 7 of the original budget. This ordinance is adopted to comply with the provisions of Arkansas Code Annotated, Section 1414-907, and shall be effective upon passage. Passed by the Quorum Court on January 17, 2017, dated January 17, 2017. Cast marked Carter, Secretariat, affirmed, James Baker, Faulkner County Judge.
Motion's been made and seconded and read for passage of this ordinance. Floor is open for discussion, starting with Scott Simpson.
Thank you, Judge. what this is updates our carryover numbers. What we have passed in the provisional budget there was projected carryover numbers. This gives us hard numbers that carry over with these your budget. So what it is your revenue pages. And then also in budget meetings, we had discussed transfers. If you flip to page 7 there, we had discussed transfers, and those transfers were in these revenue sections, but the actual transfers were not listed. And so we've added the transfers that are listed. And what those are $15,000 from circuit court automation to county general, $25,000 from public defender investigator to crime, and then we're combining Jail Fines Act 118 with jail operations and maintenance, and federal drug forfeitures with drug control, also PSAP with the new 911 PSAP. What that does is transfers all those funds so we have one fund instead of two. It's just a cleanup thing. And the amendment on the very first page, page out. For county general, the withholding is not 10%, it should be 12%. That number is $2,122,480.80. The available to appropriate is $15,564,859.25.
564.
564, 859, and 25. Would anybody like to get those numbers again?
Yes, sir.
The withholding amount at 12%, $2,122,480.80. Available to appropriate, $15,564,859.25. Especially the members that were here, remember we voted to withhold the 12% and not the 10%. That's what we said. I shouldn't say we voted, you know, we said here. Thank you, Judge.
Thank you for the clarification and correction. Other discussion? This needs to be done because of the increased funds that we had at the end of the year.
Yes, it takes us off projected carryover numbers to real actual carryover.
Other discussion? Got a question?
If I may.
Yes.
Before you vote on passage of ordinance 1704, we do need a motion to amend Exhibit A on 1704 to comply with what Mr. Sampson just said.
He did. In the original motion.
As amended, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'm sorry, you don't know that.
Yeah, we'll get it right for the next meeting.
All right. Hearing no other discussion, Madam Secretary, would you call the roll?
Boyer,
Yes.
Brady,
Yes.
Dodgen,
Yes.
Good,
Yes.
Fox,
Yes.
Hendricks,
Yes.
Higgins,
Yes.
Houston, King,
Yes.
Knight,
Yes.
Pickett,
Yes.
Tessing, Williams.
Yes.
Ordinance 17-4 is approved. Okay. Moving down now, please. We approved the ordinances, I believe.
No, we have the ordinance. We're going back.
Okay. Proposed ordinance 17-2 is being handed out. One is being handed out.
We're gonna have to share some.
Oh,
Here, let me go ahead and take it. Your Honor, I move that we adopt this by title only.
Second.
we got a second, that's what we will proceed to do. Motion been made, second, that we adopt ordinance 17-1 and read it by title only.
Faulkner Faulkner County Quorum Court, ordinance 17-1 be enacted by the Quorum Court of the County of Faulkner, State of Arkansas, an ordinance to be entitled an organizational ordinance for the 2017-2018 Faulkner County Quorum Court.
Motion been made and seconded and read by title for approval. Floor is open for discussion. Council Holder, I commend you for getting that in a timely fashion. I would thought we might see it next week or sometime.
Thank you, Judge. I've been jogging regularly. So I jog over and send it out. For what it's worth, this does have additional language besides what you just discussed, but the additional language basically just tracks the statutes as to how to call a special meeting, and how to reschedule a meeting. Nothing out of the ordinary, basic language, and it has all the decisions you just made.
One or two is looking at it. Do you have any questions?
Oh, it's nice, what I looked over.
Madam Secretary, would you call the roll?
Yes, Your Honor. Boyer,
Yes.
Brady,
Yes.
Dodgen,
Yes.
Good,
Yes.
Cox,
Yes.
Hendricks,
Yes.
Higgins,
Yes.
Houston,
Yes.
King,
Yes.
Knight,
Yes.
Pickett,
Yes.
Tessie,
Yes.
Williams.
Yes.
Well, ordinance 17-1 has passed. All right, next item on my agenda is,
So question, Your Honor, just so I know, I know you committed to having committees selected, and I appreciate that. How will that work? Do we have to wait until next month for that, or can he announce it when he's ready and then committees commence?
He can announce it as soon as he's ready, and what he would do is issue a proclamation, executive order probably. He would tell me what he wants to do, I'll write it up, and then I'll email it out to you guys just as soon as it's done.
And the purpose of my question was, will we have the opportunity to have committee meetings before the next meeting?
yes. I committed after y'all voted that I would have them within the next 10 days. I'll try to do it this week. If I don't see any problem doing it this week.
Thank you, Your
Get
Honor.
it out. Y'all proceed.
It would be the same 4 committees that we had.
Yes, that's what I understood.
Yeah.
Announcements.
Your Honor, if I can, first thing I'd like to thank Judge Weaver for the cookies.
Judge Lawson brought some too tonight.
Well, and I was going to do that also. I want to recognize the Faulkner County Animal Shelter Advisory Board was here tonight, and they presented good. Would you ladies stand up for me? So we've got Miss Donna, if you're raising, Donna Clausen, and then we have Vicki Crutchfield, Chris Quinn, and Susan Chaddix. And did I miss anybody on the board?
She's just on the Friends of the County.
Okay. And so thank you for being here tonight, and they'll probably want to visit with several of you guys tonight just to introduce themselves. And thank you for the cookies. And Judge Clausen too.
Well, really, it wasn't Judge Clausen, it was the
That's what I'm
County
thinking.
Animal Shelter people that brought those cookies.
Judge Clausen, we
He can
appreciate
take
you
the
delivering
credit.
them.
I'm gonna do my best to take credit.
Thank you.
After this meeting is over, did y'all want to try to meet, and then of course, what we don't have to run off? Is that-
Yes,
In this
we love
room, or
that
you-
little meet and greet.
You want to meet in this room, or you want to meet there? Where do you want
I think they just want to introduce
Right
to?
themselves.
Right here, okay, all right. Other announcements?
Judge, if I may.
Yes.
One more appointment. We do this every year, and this just came to my attention today. The Arkansas Association of Quorum Courts has a governing body of the Quorum Court Association, and every year this body at the beginning of the year has to designate one delegate from our court to go to that governing body. Quite frankly, I'll just go ahead and say it's usually Randy Higgins, and so they have to designate someone as their delegate.
He has been the delegate last 2 years, is that right?
Yes.
Floor is open.
would Justice Higgins take that responsibility on again?
If the court selects me, I'd be glad to do that.
So moved, John.
Second.
Hearing no discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay? Motion carries. Justice Higgins, welcome to the 40-hour group.
Your Honor, I'd like to point out that he's done an excellent job too. He's been a faithful and good public servant, and he's been a handy man to have on this court.
Thank you, Judge.
Other announcements, and I have a couple that I'll hold mine to last. Somebody pretty quiet.
I hate to call Pat the attorney anymore, so we don't.
I'm not going to go there.
Go on.
I'm not going to go there. I want to make this statement here in the announcements. I want to commend all the employees of Faulkner County and heads of staff that use of due diligence this past year and tight monies. They've done an outstanding job and had a grip on things. And I think it's evident tonight to Scott's report. Our county is being served well with the employees we have, and I felt like it needed to be said. One other announcement I had. Last week I attended a gathering of Sheriff Rawls and his deputies. One deputy received and was recognized by the sheriff for valor in the line of duty. This is the highest award given to Deputy Freeman of Greenbrier for putting his life on the line to save others. I don't know if you know Deputy Freeman. It's my first time to meet him at that meeting, but we have some awful good people that work in our sheriff's office. Putting his life on the line, and Sheriff Rawls recognized him of valor for his actions. He was involved in the murder of a guy, and he was the first on the scene. Recognizing the people he did, and I'm going to pass that on to him. Another announcement I have, and this is really good, just a statement. In the past 10 days, we lost a good public servant in this county. Senator Stanley Russ set a good example for all of us to follow. He was our friend and will be missed by so many. Pretty big boy. People that knew him and all the people that have been around him. So,
Your Honor, you have the ability to designate certain days as people days, don't you?
I do, and before you go there, let me tell you what you're leading up to, so let me tell you what's going to happen. In all fairness, the month of April will be Faulkner County Cleanup Month, to clean Faulkner County up the trash and never Stanley Russ, and I hope it goes year after year. But we will designate the month of April for the solid waste management folks, and we're going to clean up Faulkner County, and it's going to be Stanley Russ's month of April. That will be done sometime in March, and coordinated with not only the mayors of all the cities, and I'll tell them what I'd like to do on the 24th. But we will designate, and thank you, Mr. Green, for bringing that. That's all my announcements. I'll hear another announcement, or I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
John Baker.
Oh, yeah.
Jim Davidson asked me to let you know that I have agreed to head up the Bologna Literacy Bookcase Project. It had been started prior to the tornadoes and just got put on hold. And I have agreed to restart that program. We hope to build 40 to 50 bookcases for Head Start, the ABC school kids, and have boxes and businesses and places in Bologna to collect books. So we hope to get that literacy project started this year.
That's a big commitment. I commend you for doing it, but I'm gonna tell you, bless you
Thank you.
in your efforts. Thank you. Anybody from the, I didn't open it up to the audience, anybody have an announcement there? It ain't going on for my hours. What's it do?
Make a motion, we adjourn?
Second.
This meeting is adjourned.